well, there's a few different levels of metaverses you can do with healthcare. Number one is remote consultation, right? You can talk to somebody like in high fidelity. For example, if you have a bruise on your arm, they should be able to look at it and say, oh, what kind of bruise it is. If you have, I don't know, some allergy or some condition, they can look at it, they can remote diagnose. If you think about it a little bit further, you could actually use the metaverse to do even surgery remotely, right? So for example, you have to perform any type of surgery inside your body. That could be a metaverse that's inside your body that they can produce they can do the operations on. So yeah, it has very interesting applications in real world applications that life-saving applications. So all of this is possible. We don't have it today. So it remains to be built. That's the opportunity. It may be too early to do that right away. We may have to wait for the metaverse technology to mature a bit more. But the possibilities are all there. So I think today, just the very, very beginning. This is why I'm always bullish about this industry, is there's so much that have not been built yet. We're just at the very, very beginning. Yeah.
Danya, welcome. We've been trying to get our heads around what's happening right now in the minds of the prosecutors in this case. What is happening, and how are things stacking up against Sam Bankman-Fried when they already have two people who worked for him who have pled guilty?
Well, I expect that the proceedings next week will be pretty routine and ministerial. I wouldn't expect a lot of fireworks there. Just it's Mr. Bankman-Fried's arraignment, and it will be setting a schedule primarily. We may hear something, we should hear something about the government's proof and what type of discovery it has and really what volume of discovery it has, so that Judge Kaplan, the presiding judge, will be able to set a schedule for motion practice and ultimately for trial. So I don't think much will come out of the hearing or the conference next week, but negotiations we can expect are going on behind the scenes. We know they began when SBF was in the Bahamas in connection with his extradition and whether or not he waived, which ultimately he made the gambit to do so. And so there are discussions going on, and his legal team is assessing right now what the prospects are and whether or not he should, as his two tenants did, take a quick plea and take his chances before Judge Kaplan. I think that's a risky move, but that is exactly what his lawyers are thinking through right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm still a little surprised that he was given bail here when the Bahamas was so adamantly denying it. Was this a ploy? They had to do this to get him to come back from the Bahamas without a battle? What happened?
That's exactly right. That's pretty standard. Often the country that apprehends the defendant will hold that defendant and view him or her as a flight risk. In this case, the negotiations between SBF's lawyers and the government here was, okay, we will waive lengthy extradition proceedings. In exchange, you, the government, agree to a bail package here, the largest ever granted, and allow him to remain free, relatively free, pending trial. Otherwise, I am certain that he would not have been granted bail before Magistrate Judge Gorenstein when he appeared for his initial appearance.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we have CZ from Binance on the Metaverse. And guys, we know that technology is already ready, sitting behind the curtain. And guys, we know supercomputers have been ready since the 90s. So if you match up these supercomputers along with the Metaverse, you will not know what's real and not real. You have eyes, but you do not see. You have ears, but you do not hear. Do not trust what you see or hear. That's the reason why you have to sit back. And that's the reason why I tell you, sit back and let the movie play out. Because you're definitely watching a movie. Your life is an illusion, and TV is your reality. And we have the bank man back in court January 3rd. And we know he was extradited to New York for a reason. They already had it planned out. That's the reason why he got his walking papers as soon as he hit New York. We know the bank man was working on the fourth industrial revolution. We know LIBOR is coming to an end. And the bank man found a way to put these derivatives on a blockchain being ran by an algorithm. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And guys, we know how the media works. The next hot topic is TikTok. And all you have to do is read the terms and conditions and see all the data that they're collecting. But guys, also we have Republican versus Democrat. The Hegelian dialectic is about to be stepped up in 2023. We know the Republicans take over the House. And when it comes to the people, they never get anything passed. But when it comes to the NWO's agenda, they always seem to come together to get things passed. And the reason why I say that is that we're going to see a lot of corporations let go a lot of employees. Remember, these corporations have the new 15% tax, higher wages, and then on top of it, interest rates are keep moving up, and the Fed is still running off this balance sheet. Remember, the NWO caused the problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. And the solution was ready 10 years ago. Over these next 3 years, the robots, algorithms, and drones are about to take over the economy, and the sheep are going inside the metaverse. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
What was the information, though, that you saw that led you to that?
Well, the fact that the data is stored, and even if it's stored in a cloud and they have security arrangements around that, it is the fact that China, as they've done in other instances, could interfere or intervene in a business and say, we want that data. Well, obviously, we do not want the communist Chinese government to have access to the state data platform and have it compromised through an application like TikTok. And so that's the basis for the decision. And we understand that the risk is minimal, and I don't expect our state employees to be utilizing TikTok on a regular basis. But the fact is, it was an important step to take that to make sure that we're not compromising the state data and its security.
Well, that leads to the next question. You talked about state workers and just the broader citizens of Arkansas and the rest of the U.S. What do you think should happen to TikTok?
Well, I think you have to be careful, first of all. Anytime a government would ban or take restrictive actions against business, you better make sure you're clear on this and that the intelligence requires that. And so I think it's appropriate for the intelligence community to warn citizens about concerns over security. I think we need to continue to look at this. I know that TikTok will want to satisfy the security concerns of the United States. So let's see where that develops. But if I was a parent, I would not want my children on TikTok. I am a parent, but they're grown. But I think there's legitimate concerns about, what's going to happen to that data. Now, if there are dance moves and things that are harmless, that's one thing, but you've got to be careful about the potential for access to data in a greater extent. And so that's the concern for the future.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.